voted for President Trump?
Yes, sir.
Why did you vote for him?
Because I was an idiot. 80% of the evangelical Christian people were lied to, if you really want to know the truth, and that's exactly what happened. They said criminal, and I believe criminals need to be off the street.
I just want to make sure people watching this understand who you are.
My wife and I, when we don't work, we're ministers. We help the needy. That's what we do.
It's Joe from Georgia. So voting has consequences, and those voters in the states of Kentucky and West Virginia are finding out that their vote, which by the way was overwhelmingly for Donald Trump in 2024, is coming back to haunt them. And the haunting is in the coal industry. The coal industry's had a tough time for decades. However, they had seen a new revival in that because they had a huge buyer in the world. Guess who? China. China is the biggest consumer of coal in the world, and they were buying it from companies out of West Virginia and Kentucky, where thousands of people are employed in the coal industry to make their living. Well, those people have been voting staunchly Republican for years. Well, in this instance, they are finally finding out that maybe they made a mistake. And not maybe, because the coal industry, once again, the largest consumer in the world of coal is China. The tariffs have made it to where China will not buy American coal. And without buying American coal, you're putting tens of thousands of people.
I was in a conversation last night with a guy who said he regretted his vote for Trump simply because he wasn't getting the benefit out of Trump's policies that he was expecting. That is such an utterly imbecilic and selfish take. I've never even considered just voting out of my own self-interest in spite of whatever it might do to the rest of the country. Even when I was Republican, even when I was a conservative, at my most conservative, I thought genuinely that my conservative views, that the policies that I supported would help the country and would lift everybody up. Now, I can go back now and see how I was wrong, but that was still part of my mindset. So I don't understand how somebody can come through this and think, well, it's not helping me, regardless of anything else. Now, this guy also mentioned, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is, how can you be so selfish and then think so much of yourself? How can you be that self-centered and not consider how other people might be impacted by the things that could do you some good? Because I can promise you, there's a lot of things that could do me personally good, that could make my life easier, that would hurt a whole lot of people. And I don't want those things for this country.
Would I still vote for Trump if I knew then what I know now?
I'm going to guess that the answer is yes, but it's not for the reasons that you and I would hope it's for. But let's watch and see what she says.
I would not vote for Trump again if I had the choice to go back 1 year ago today. And not because I'm disappointed with a lot of the policy or the way things are going, but the cost of that vote and the loss of two people that I love dearly.
So just to be clear, she's not upset because of the policies and the things that are happening. She's not upset that food is actually more expensive, that people are not getting their SNAP benefits, that government is shut down, that people are literally starting to starve and being grabbed off the streets. She's not upset about any of those things, right? Because those things don't affect her directly. But let's find out what she really is upset about.
And now the strain is just unbearable. And I had hoped after a year that things would kind of smooth over and calm down, but it's just not getting better. And the pain of it is a lot. So I know some people will say, well, that's what you get for voting for Trump and blah, 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 blah. But I'm heartbroken over the relationship loss. And so
And there it is. She only cares because she was affected in a negative way. Because her friends, two people that were really close to her, said, I can't be friends with you anymore. And that makes total sense because no, we do not want to be friends with you. We cannot agree to disagree on human rights. We cannot be friends if you literally vote against my personal freedom, or you vote for someone who's going to physically, mentally, or emotionally harm me or someone I love. We cannot be friends if you support an administration that calls a huge part of our population an infestation or an enemy within. Because when you do that, you create legislation that harms those people that you say you love. But yet, I looked at your whole video, I watched your whole video. You do not care that it's affecting them. You only care that it affects you. And that's the problem with Trump supporters. All my love.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about this video many people are discussing online. This video tells the story of the family that is going through the very difficult time. A father is very sick and the family want to him to spend the final days at home, but the request of deny. The family is only want to laugh, care and time together. This video shows the change the political option. They say they support a political movement in the past, but after seeing this happen a family like this, they believe they made a wrong choice. This is the personal opinion. My opinion is this video is not about the politics, it's about the compression, it's about the family, it's about the humanity. No matter what political party we support, we should remember that the real people are affected by the government decisions. Every family wants this stay together. Every child wants to be their parents. Every parents wants to be spread time with their children. Thus feelings are the everywhere is this world. I also believe the changing your opinion is not weakness. Sometimes people learn from the life. Sometimes people see something that changes your mind. That is normal. We should not be afraid the learn of growth. Politics should be help people. We should not make family suffer. Leaders should decisions of the both wisdom of kindness. At the end of the day, respect and compassion are important, because of one day every families may need understanding and kindness from others. That is lesson I learned more videos. Now I want to hear from you. That is you think about this topic. Please share your opinion, your comments. Let's continue.
Y'all just coming through right quick. Listen, I was listening to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Listen, there was a question posed to her by one of their followers or someone that was on the post. And they asked her, what advice can you give to an individual, a Republican, who voted for Donald Trump and his administration, and now they are regretting their vote? She did not bash them. She did not condemn them. She didn't even tell them to vote for a Democrat, y'all. Listen to this. She told them to look within themselves and really try to figure out what really led them to go over and vote for someone who clearly states negativity. They are convicted felon. They have done so much in their past, and a lot of people was running off that he was a good businessman. She said good businessmen do not file bankruptcy 6 times, okay? Good people, normally will not have 34 counts, felony counts against them, okay? So good people would not be out here spewing hatred and things like that and doing things that he's doing. So she said, I would just suggest that you really look within yourself, and then do your research. No matter who you vote for, she said, do your research, read up about them, see if they stand on the side that you really and truly stand on, not what they be out here saying they're going to do this and that and the other, and then they don't do it. She said, because all the things that he ran on and people voted for him for, he has did none of it. None of it. And he said he was not going to tax the people who get tips. Guess what? It wasn't in your budget. It wasn't in that budget. They didn't have none of that in there. Even not taxing overtime. They didn't have that in there either. She said that wasn't on there. So she said, no matter who you decide to vote for, do your research to see what these people are about. Do y'all research, okay? Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about something that has created a lot of debate online. Many people are discussing Florida's economy, imagine housing cost and the rising cost of living. Some people believe the government politics have made life harder. Others believe there are many different reasons behind this problem. So let's talk the closer look. This is my opinion. First of all, the fast has become a more expensive for many families. The prices for groceries is higher, insurance cost is higher, rent cost is higher. Buying a home is much harder than was a few years ago. Many people are feeling financial pressure. This is not happening for Florida. Many states across the America are facing similar challenges. Other topic people are talking about this immigration. Some businesses owners say they are struggling for find it enough workers. Construction companies, farmers, and hotels or restaurants often depend on workers from the many different backgrounds. Some businesses owners believe that when there are fewer workers available, projects take long from costs become higher. Others argued a stronger immigration enforcement is necessary from the border security. This is why the debate countries. There are strong opinions on both sides. Housing is another big issue. Many families say they can no longer afford to buy a home. Even renting has become difficult. Some people are moving to different states because they believe life is become too expensive where you currently live. Florida has been one of the fastest growing states of the few years, but recently some reports have struggled that some residents are closing have to leave because of rising costs. Wherever the trade countries of challenges is the future remain to be seen. Another concern is insurance. Many home workers says insurance premiums has been increased significantly after several events. As major storm, insurance companies have faced very large loss. As a result, many homeowners are paying much more than before. For many families, this is become one of the biggest monthly expenses. Small businesses are also facing challenges. Business owners are dealing with higher supply cost, higher wage, and higher insurance cost, and economy uncertainty. Many says it has become harder to make a profit than it was just a few years ago. Politics is another reason why people disagree. Some people support current politics, others certain criticize them. That is normal in the democracy. People will always have different opinion. But I think it is important that they focus on the fact of the real situation instead of only blaming each other. Social media often make everything sound simple. One video may say one political concern is every problem. Another video may blame someone else. In reality, economics are so much more complicated than that. Many different facts affect housing prices, instant rates, population growth, inflation, natural discuss, government politics, global economic condition. All of this can influence people daily lives. I also noticed that many Americans are simply frustrated. Some people say they voted explanation lower prices. Others say that expanded more jobs. Some believe their experience says we are not meat. Others still believed improvement will come with time. That is why opinion remain divided. One thing I will everyone can agree this: working families want stability, they want affordable housing, they want good jobs, they want safe communities, they want their children have to better opportunities. Those goals are shared by people from every political party. Instead of arguing online, I believe leaders should spend more time solving these every problems. People care about paying bills, people care about healthcare, people care about the education, they care about building a better future for their family. This issue matters more than political argument on social media. I think we should avoid judging people simply because they voted differently. Many voters choose candidates because they hope their lives will improve. Sometimes this helps the fulfilled, sometimes they help disappointed. That is every that is in every democracy. Changing your opinion is not a weakness. Learning from experience is a part of democracy. Not political party is perfect. No political is perfect. Every leader should be judged by the result. In politics, every people should be supported. The politics create problems. Leaders should listen and make of improvement. That is how government becomes stronger. At the end of the day, America success need when ordinary families succeed, when workers can find good jobs, when business can grow, when young people are afraid homes, when communities feel safe. That should be main goal of every leader regardless of political party. So my opinion is simple: America faces a real economic challenges. People should different ideas about how solving them. Instead of attacking each other, we should honestly decision for good politics and the political situation improve everyday life. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think the biggest change is facing America today? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.